Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today, I'm gonna share a technique I call Faux-saic Mosaic. Oh yeah, I said it. We're gonna make this with a stencil, people. It's so easy and fun, and I think you're really gonna like it. I'm using a 5x6 craft paper box from our sponsor, Papermart. You can find them online at www.papermart.com. And the reason I love this size of the craft jewelry boxes is that not only is it perfect for like a necklace and earrings, but it's also perfect for stationery. And I love to do these little standard size gift note cards. They fit perfectly, and it's just such a wonderful size. I decorate these in all different ways. This is another one I decorated a couple months ago. So much fun, such a great size of box, and I even used them last week in the tutorial. So if you get a box of these, you're gonna have lots of ways to decorate them. Now let's go to the table and I'll show you how it's done.
The first step is to paint your box lid white. Now I've already done that, and now I'm taking a stencil, which is kind of a mosaic grid by Patty Parrish. It's available at istencil.com, and I am taping down all four sides of the box. This will give me a nice border around the edge, and it will also keep my stencil from moving when I apply the embossing paste. I'm using Dreamweaver embossing paste, but you can use any brand. You could even use like latex caulking or spackle from the hardware store. It will all work. It's basically gonna give us a raised design on our image. I'm using a palette knife to scoop out a bunch of it, and then I'm just applying it along one edge of the stencil. Now I'm using a large stencil scrapey tool to scrape the embossing paste along the entire stencil. If you don't have one of these stencil scrapers, go ahead and use an old credit card or gift card. It'll work just as well. You just want to make sure you have distributed the paste all over the stencil. Any leftover paste can be put back in the jar to use on other projects. When you're happy with your scraped results, you can peel off the stencil, and there, look, you get this really cool raised design on the top of your box. You need to let that dry completely before going on to the next step. Embossing paste is dry. Paint all the squares with different shades of transparent glass paint. I am using some shades of blues, greens, and golds. I think they're really pretty to kind of keep these colors together like this. If you don't have transparent glass paint, you can take some acrylic paint and mix it with a clear gloss medium or Mod Podge, it's glossy, for the same effect. After you're done painting all the mosaic squares, you can use a leftover paint to paint the edges of the bottom of the box. What I ended up doing was mixing up all of the paint that I had left over, and then I simply painted the edges of the bottom of the box. That gave it a really cool glossy look. And since I used colors that were so similar to each other, instead of making mud, it made a beautiful olive green color. I love that I was able to use up every last scrap of this paint. I wanted to add some finishing touches to the edge of this box, and I thought that copper foil tape would be a perfect accent. So I got my Master Foil Plus tape, which is a stained glass supply, and I just ran a strip of it along the top and bottom edge of the lid of the box. And then I also put some on the corners to both prevent wear and tear and also give it a really special look. Even though these boxes are meant for jewelry, I actually got them because I like to make little handmade stationery sets of the A2 size. And what I'm doing here is taking a little Papermart jeweler tissue. It's gorgeous. It's this beautiful vanilla color, and it's so crunchy and crinkly. It feels great. And then I'm folding it to be the same size as my box, so I can use that as kind of like a little wrapping inside of my box. I think it really adds to the presentation, and it just conforms to the box so well. So what I have here is some A2 size envelopes from Papermart. You can get them in a big bulk box, which is great if you don't have the time to make your own envelopes every time. And I just stamped some little blue flowers on there to make the envelopes a little more special. And these cards, I like to make kind of DIY card kits where I have pretty much everything done except for the sentiments to be glued down. If anybody wants to see a tutorial on that, just leave me a comment and I can get that done for you if anybody's interested. And then I stamped a bunch of little banners just with different sentiments like thank you, happy birthday, thinking of you, and put some foam adhesive in there so that way the recipient can put whatever sentiment they want on their card, and that way they won't have ones that they won't use. I just think it's a beautiful presentation, and I love the way this box turned out. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Please check out our sponsor Papermart. You can find them online at www.papermart.com, where we make you look even better. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.